I need coffee. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wiser by the 30s, and I'm so excited to discuss this another insightful topic with you all, which resonates, I think, with all of us, and it's finding contentment. In a world where everyone pushes us to achieve more and more, and we are like always chasing our dreams, hustling, it it gets very overwhelming to balance dreaming and finding joy. And it's really important to find that correct balance where you are being happy in the moment as well while you are working towards your dreams. To discuss this topic in detail, I have my friend Nicole here, and she has her own journey, and I find her like a sunflower, happy, enjoying the moment, and not being part of the rat race. And I would love to learn a few things from her. And thank you for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you for having me. It's
Yeah.
such a compliment that you see me that way.
Yeah.
Um, because I think a lot of the times, like, the perspective you have of yourself is not really reflected,
Hmm.
and it's rare to hear people talk about you. I think most people talk about people when they're not present.
Yeah.
And so when you came to me with this topic, I was very flattered that you kind of it's good to be seen by other people
The
and
same
be
way.
around people
Yeah.
that understand you. So,
No,
yeah.
absolutely. Like when I was discussing things, even with Kripa,
Mhm.
and I was just going through all these topics in my head, and I knew I wanted you here, and I
Mhm.
knew I wanted to discuss something with her in detail. And I was like, what would the best thing in which Nicole can just, keep rolling? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
like hard to discuss things which you're
Yeah.
not really in touch with.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Happiness? What have I been thinking?
Yeah.
So I would like to start with, were you
Mhm.
always like this, or
Mhm.
is this something you have developed over time?
I think like it might be hard. I feel like to give advice on this topic because I do think I've always been like this. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it really comes natural to me to kind of be content with where I am at
Mm-hmm.
in life. I think it has a lot to do with like how I was raised,
Mm,
and I was very like lucky. My parents were never people who like set expectations for me and were very strict.
mm-hmm.
My mom was very chill
Wow.
mom. I think in some ways, not everything, but yeah, I was never told that I had to be a doctor or like I had
Right.
to go to school. It was more like they just wanted the best for me in any
Right.
situation kind of thing. But that also sometimes has its
Mm-hmm.
downsides of like kind of floundering in
Mm-hmm.
life and not knowing what you want to do or
Mm-hmm.
what direction to go in.
Right.
So, yeah, but I think generally my outlook on life has always kind of been this way.
But I'm sure there have been moments when you struggle to keep that joy,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, like when the stress takes over and it's personal life, work, it's like tons of things on our like checklist.
yeah.
Are you um are you able to make that balance?
I think so. I feel like I've definitely had moments in my life where it was hard to be positive, or I felt like what I was saying, directionless.
Right.
Um, like after high school, I didn't go to university right away. I was supposed to go to a university for English.
Mm-hmm.
Went there. I was in another province,
Right.
so it was a lot. Uh, I had a meltdown,
Right.
cried, canceled everything, came home,
Right.
and I took like a 5 year gap
Mm-hmm.
before going back to college. And so during those 5 years, I really struggled with trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, find what you're good at, find out what you want to do for a career kind
Like
of
your
thing.
path, like finding
Exactly.
your path, right?
Exactly. And like all my friends were in university studying, doing
Right.
something that they loved or that they thought they loved at the time. And I was just kind of working part-time jobs, and that also has like a different schedule than everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, having this kind of like different experience than the people around me. And I kind of really struggled with trying to find something that had meaning to me. There was a lot of like inner turmoil of what I was going to do.
But like during those
Yeah.
5 years,
Yeah.
um, like you said, you were going through a lot.
Yeah.
How did you, were you happy? Were there
I think
moments?
there was moments that I was happy and there was moments that was like really tough. I think part of it is that like every day is going to be different. And
Right.
so if I'm having a bad day today, tomorrow might be different.
Yeah.
Having that outlook for me, like if I'm having a really bad day,
Mhm.
I want to end it as soon as possible. So I'm like, shower, go to bed, and I wake up and tomorrow's a new day. And sometimes those feelings still like linger to the next day, but try to change it up, do something different that, a lot of the time I feel like I need to get out of that headspace and get out of that feeling.
Right.
And for me, like hanging out with my people, the people that bring me joy,
Joy.
the
Yeah.
people that I don't drain my energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a super what's it called? I'm an introvert, not an
Yeah,
extrovert.
ambivert. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yeah,
like,
I'm a little bit
yeah.
of both because I do well in social situations, but I need time to restore
Yes, your
myself.
energy. Yes.
And that's also the part that it's like life is so long. You have all these years
Years
to be
to,
anything you want, to grow into whatever type of person you want to be. Just because you used to not like spinach one day doesn't mean like in 10 years from now
you wouldn't want
you
it.
wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
Like, things change,
I think this,
circumstances
sorry,
change. No,
this
go ahead.
perspective is really good that
Yeah.
life is too long and
Yeah.
it's never too late.
Yes. Yes.
It's never too late
Yeah.
to try
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah. And that's good. And also, like, when you make time for things that make you happy,
Yeah.
they give you energy. They give
Yes.
you that burst of life. They give you something good to look forward to in your
Right.
day or your week. And it
Yes.
kind of breaks up the other things that are just responsibilities to you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Which
Absolutely.
I feel like I have to do more of. I have to make more time for the things that I want to be doing
Mm-hmm.
rather than the things that I have to do.
You.
Mm-hmm.
What does contentment mean to you personally, and like, how will you define it when it comes to your life?
Right. Like, I think like you're the type of person that you always envision future.
Yeah.
And I'm really not like that
Same.
at all. There's things in my life that I want to do or I want to have, but I try to like I'm not the type of person that I want 5 private jets. I want to
Yeah.
I want a yacht. I want all these things. I
Yeah.
don't have goals like that. There's
Yeah.
little things that I want to experience in
Mm-hmm.
life.
Would it be wrong if I say you do not like a monotonous life?
See, and then like 5 years ago, I was like, yeah, I just want a 9 to 5. It's easy, I think, to fall into that ideal. And it's a great feeling, like feeling like you're going to work and you're good at your job and you have this purpose. It gives you confidence and it gives you a certain type of strength.
Yeah.
And power.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I eventually realized like that whole world was not for me. It's not that I was unhappy at that time. It was just like it wasn't who I wanted to be.
Yeah, it was a different experience for you, and you realized that this is probably not me.
Yeah, to school. I knew I wanted to do something creative. And so when I went to school and I'm doing like an art program and doing something really creative, I felt more myself. It's hard to like be in this rhythm of like you're working, and then you have a weekend, that kind of thing. And it's a little bit sad to think that, oh, we're going to do this for the rest of our lives. So I try not to think
about that
because things change. things
Things
change. And I
change.
also forgot why I started talking about this.
Yeah, that we live by a checklist
Ugh.
that I want to achieve this by this age.
I think,
I have to accomplish a certain
yeah,
amount of tasks, I would
yeah,
say, before I turn, 31 or 35. Like I want to travel or like all
yeah,
these things might bring you a lot of joy. There is
yeah,
no denial in that. Like
yes,
I'm
yeah,
sure if I have my own house by the time I'm 33, I will be like
yeah,
wow, I have
yeah,
accomplished something. I'm happy I have my own
yeah.
place. But like
But why do you need the date? Like, why do you need it by a certain
but
age?
that's how it's embedded in ourselves,
Oh,
right? You have to be done with your 10th grade by this
oh,
age,
okay.
right? This is
Yeah,
a system we have
yeah,
been,
yeah,
this is a rat race that you
yeah.
do this by
Mm-hmm.
this age, you do high school,
It's
then college.
expectations, meeting
There's a societal
expectations.
pressure.
Yes, yeah,
Like if you go
yeah.
back to like if you like Western culture is still very different. Talking about the cultural difference,
Mm-hmm.
if I go back to my community
Mm-hmm.
back home in
Mm-hmm.
India, there's a societal pressure that not nowadays, like everything is so modernized, but still I would say people expect you to be married by a certain
Yeah,
age or
yeah,
have family by a
yeah.
certain age. Like all my friends back home in
Mm-hmm.
India, they are either married with kids or they are planning to get
Yeah,
married. Like I know a friend who's getting married in November. When I was coming here to Canada, two of my friends got married.
yeah,
Like all of them
yeah.
are like done with the most important critical decision of their life, and I feel like, oof,
Yes,
what am I gonna do?
yeah,
And sometimes that also makes you unhappy,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But again, when I come back to myself every evening and I realize that, oh, what all I'm doing as a person, I sometimes feel relieved and happy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like, oh, I live alone. I am completely by myself. I
Yeah.
take care of my mental health, my
Mm-hmm.
physical health. I
Yeah,
cook for myself.
yeah.
Like all these small things,
Mm-hmm.
like they mean a lot.
Yes,
And we
yeah.
often neglect
Mm-hmm.
how capable we are as a
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
and we don't like we sometimes feel like we don't deserve it. We don't deserve
Mm,
to be happy, right?
mm.
Because we haven't accomplished a
Right,
certain task or certain thing by
right,
a certain age.
right,
We feel maybe we are not doing good enough.
right.
But if we reflect properly,
Yeah.
we're doing so much.
Yes, yeah.
Like
And I
we
think it's good to be able to look back and be like, wow, I am doing so much. Also, even if you're not doing so much, but trying your best to do whatever it is, like that is good enough.
yeah.
And I also like that's something like I've learned with time. It's not something that I always knew, you know. It's like just trying your best every day to do the best you can is
Yeah.
enough.
It's enough, yeah, right?
And you'll get there eventually, you know?
The thing is, we strongly believe in this idea of figuring things out, right? We need to figure things out.
It's all fake. It's
It's all
fake.
fake.
Nobody knows anything. Nobody
Yeah.
has it figured out. I think the expectations of like life milestones,
Uh-huh.
I think when we have this like idea by this certain age, I should have accomplished this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I think with time and when we don't meet those expectations, you just kind of learn that like, oh, life goes at different paces for everybody.
Yes. Talking about all these things,
Mm-hmm.
so we are in a society which kind of pushes you to chase more and more,
Yeah.
right? But and it's not like contentment or being satisfied with what you have doesn't mean that you don't have goals.
Yeah.
So my question is,
Dun dun dun.
is how do you maintain the happiness in you and the like keep the gratitude for things you already have in your life while you're still working towards those goals?
Right.
Like, not just being, oh, work, 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 and
Yeah.
just and not being happy.
Yeah. I really think the times where I felt gratitude have been moments where you feel like you're really living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's happened like noticeably a few times where I can pinpoint, like, I've been in nature.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh my God, the world is so much bigger than us. We're just a small little thing, which sometimes is like scary, but sometimes it's comforting.
Yes.
Experience
Little
this.
moments that
Little
keep you
moments.
in
Yeah.
the present.
Yeah. And sometimes like it's not like I'm trying for that or whatever. It just kind of hits me and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Being grateful that I'm able to move my body. Like just grateful that, you know, that I showed up today and I did this.
Yes.
Is great feeling. And I'm grateful that you have a like that your mind is sound.
Yes.
And like grateful for the people that you have around you, grateful for the food that you have. Yes. Like I think we get caught up in like wanting all these either materialistic things or wanting goals that sound really amazing. But when it boils down to it, like what do you need for happiness is like for me it's people, like my family.
Right.
And really when you don't have a lot in your life, like you don't need money, you don't need all that kind of stuff, when you have family around you and you can get together and have a good time and experience things together, that's what brings you happiness.
True.
And that is what, those are also moments that you feel like really grateful.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what like us need to do more, that while we are working towards our dreams and goals to accomplish things that we have set for ourselves, we kind of forget to stay in touch with, people who we love.
Yeah.
That's what we probably need to do more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to say this to people who are probably watching and who are struggling with this, like how to be happy in their lives, how to be content. Oh, it's not very difficult actually. Now that you have explained it, it's very simple. You just need to take some time off and spend some time with your loved ones and do things you love and be in nature, be like absorb the surroundings and see that you are a person who's capable of so many other things. Do you think that having a content person and a satisfied person in yourself, or not just you, but in general, makes people lazy to hustle for your dreams?
No. That's it. Next question. No, I'm joking. I don't think being content means that you don't have drive. And I think what the difference is between having goals and having days where, or like set times where you're like, I want a house by the age of 33, like that is more of a goal, and it's giving you the expectation that if you don't meet that expectation, you will be let down.
Yeah.
And that's only the expectation you're putting on yourself and the expectation that society has on you, and it's all baloney. Like it all doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no,
you know,
definitely.
If you have the drive to have a house one day, you will get there.
Yeah.
You know, just because I'm content in my life today doesn't mean that I don't want it to change.
I think it's the idea that sometimes, because maybe other people are not happy in their life or they are hustling too hard, and you are content as a person, anyone, you feel guilty, because I'm talking about like anyone who may feel guilty that, oh, maybe I'm lazy and I'm not doing things at the right pace of time.
Right.
But maybe that's not true. Maybe it's like you are happy because you have your present and you're enjoying what you have currently.
Yeah.
While working for your future.
Yeah.
And you have no regrets about your present. You are just happy in the moment, and you know it's gonna change, so you don't, you keep living it, day by day. You're not losing the present in trying to figure out the future, which I do most of the times. Like I am so much like emerge, like engross into the idea of, oh, I need to do this, I need to figure this out for future, what I'm gonna be in next 3 years,
Yeah.
that I forget that, oh, I have a day today, and
Yeah.
this day needs to be embraced, and
Right.
I have to be present.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah. But
Like
that's
i'm
okay.
i'm always thinking about the next thing.
Yeah. What do you do to slow down and like ground yourself, I guess, in the moment?
um I try to sometimes talk to my parents,
Mm-hmm.
because I tell you what, my dad is he's like um a energy box for me.
Mm-hmm.
He's one person I will go back to every time I have to talk about when I'm like depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm not doing great in my life. He's that person. Or even my mom, like anyone in
Mm-hmm.
my family, I just go back to them and I tell them straightforward that, you know what, I feel like I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I am maybe not doing good enough. I
Yeah.
maybe am slow in life
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not liking it. I
Yeah.
have so much to accomplish as a person, and I feel I'm losing time, because that's my
Right.
fear. The
Yeah.
one reason why I started this podcast is because I personally am scared of aging,
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm losing time and I
Yeah.
have so much to do.
I know.
And it's completely opposite of what you said, that we
I
have
know.
so much time, and I need to understand this
Yes.
for
Yeah.
myself. And my dad, coming back to it, my dad will tell me, you have done a lot in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You did this and you did that, and now you're here, now you're taking care of your sister as well, now you're doing this, you're responsible, you're this, you take care of us. And that's when I realized that as a person, I am very responsible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking care of my loved ones, I
Mm-hmm.
am taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to the present.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, someone reminding you that
Yeah.
you are doing fine, you're
Yeah.
okay, don't
Yeah.
don't just think a lot.
Yeah.
That kind of brings me to the realization that, okay, Nupur, slow down, nothing
Yeah.
is wrong with you. It's life,
Yeah.
it's going on its own pace. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing about comparison, that comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
Whenever I try to compare myself with other people, not that I do it intentionally, it's more like, oh, this person, I'm like inspired, like, oh, this
Yes.
person has done so
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
I have to do something good as
Yeah.
well, because I want to be inspiring to someone else someday,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So all these dreams kind of
Yeah.
sometimes drag you down when it comes
Yeah.
to happiness.
Yeah.
But that's why this topic was really important for me, and I'm sure it must be really important for so many other people who are always chasing dreams, that
Mm-hmm.
how to be happy in the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you're the best person to talk about it, because you're always like, what race? I don't care about what people are doing in their life.
I don't like running, so
And
I'm not good at races. So I move at
gotta
my
be
own
happy.
pace.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely beautiful.
But some people like a rat race. Some people like the adrenaline. They
I like
they
that.
like that,
I love that adrenaline
Yeah.
rush, but mentally it's not good.
Yeah. It's a
But if you
balance.
don't have if you don't have the dopamine rush, if you
Yeah.
are not feeling happy,
Yes.
it won't help.
It's not sustainable either
Mhm.
because like you will get tired. You will burn out. It
I
can't
do.
last forever.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have already touched this question,
Mm-hmm.
that what brings you contentment in your daily life. But
Mm-hmm.
if you want to narrow it down for people who are watching us.
I think it's good to, like I was saying before, like the more you know yourself, the more you
Mhm.
know what you like and what will make you happy. And
Right.
so indulging in those little things is
Yeah.
important. Um, like I like, oh yeah, this is a good example. I have a New York Times games like app or whatever on my phone.
Okay.
I do the crossword every morning,
Wow.
like a mini crossword, not the big crossword. I can't do
Uh-huh.
it. Like I suck at it. And the little games that they have, like I do that. It's part of it helps me get out of bed and it helps me wake up in the
Mhm.
morning and be like a little bit more awake so I'm not snoozing.
Mhm.
And then like enjoying my time in the morning when I'm at work before
Right.
everybody else gets in and I can
Mhm.
kind of like ease into working is really great. Um, Little things like I'm really into listening to this podcast right now. So like listening to it while I work is a kind of little joy.
Yeah.
It's something to look forward to.
Right.
Even if I'm not enjoying what I'm working on currently, like listening to this podcast is a little great. I like going home and relaxing. Like I'm not the type of person that I have a lot of expectations for myself during the week to do stuff after work. So like if I like yesterday I did a load of laundry, really proud of myself. But I also wanted to go for a walk, so I went for a walk. I also wanted to watch the new episode of Only Murders in the Building. Watch that. Like, you know, indulge in things
little
I think is important.
Yeah.
And like don't like you're really good. You have really good willpower and like you'll say no to things. And I feel like I also have good willpower when it comes to certain things.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah, I think you have really good willpower. Like I'm talking about like if there's dessert in the kitchen at work, you're like, nah, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I also sometimes can like, I think if I really don't want it, I can say no. If I feel like it's not worth it, like sometimes like, no, I don't really want stale cake, you know, or like stale donuts or whatever it is. Like it's easy to say no to things. But I also am a really strong believer in like moderation. And if I really want a treat, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, which I do.
I
know.
But that's not like, I think a lot of people, and I'm saying like, I don't feel bad about it. I do still kind of feel bad about it, you know? But I try to enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, then I know for next time I can say no to it because it won't bring me that sort of enjoyment or happiness kind of thing. But all of that stuff is also really little stuff. And I think it's important to...
Like tiny things that you do for yourself.
And also like, I think it's important. I think I went through a period where I really stopped. I felt like I had to do a lot of things and get stuff done at home. And I stopped hanging out a lot socially with people. I took a little break socially from hanging out with my friends. And I just came back from vacation and I feel like, screw that. You know, like I think if you need time for yourself, it's great. But also I felt like I was kind of in a funk and I think I miss having things to look forward to.
Right.
And so like having things that excite you and like even if it's once a month that you do something a little bit different, you go to a museum or you have an event to look forward to.
Right.
I think those things are really important. And they're also good. Like, and you're saying that you feel like you don't have enough time in life. I also think life goes by so fast when you don't have these events to have like as timestamps.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I feel like the past 6 months for me felt very like it went by in a blink because when I look back at it, like I don't feel like I did anything. Like I don't have anything that was different.
Yeah.
You know, like I, you know, going to work and coming home every day and like maybe cleaning your room is not memorable. You can't in 10 months from now, you can't be like, oh yeah, on May 2nd, I did this.
But you did go on vacation.
I did. No, I know. I went on vacation. Besides all that.
Besides all that.
I sound so like ungrateful. Forget about that. I had a great time on vacation.
Yeah.
Also take vacations. They make you happy. And honestly, sometimes I think going on vacation does like, I don't like it when people are like, I'm going to go on vacation and it'll solve all my problems and whatever. Yeah. And it's just not true. Sometimes you get even more depressed when you come back. That. Why?
I believe in that. I think vacation is gonna solve everything for me.
Sometimes it does, though. Honestly, I when I came back from this, I feel very refreshed after this vacation, and I feel like it changed my outlook in a more positive way, and I feel a lot better now coming back from this vacation.
It just recharges you, I guess. Yeah.
And but sometimes I feel like I get more depressed when I come back from vacation because I'm like, it wasn't long enough. I want to be living that life and not my real life. I think that's what sometimes I think people get.
So if I had to ask you one advice you would like to give to people who are probably watching us and maybe some of us who are dealing with this issue of not being happy and not being able to feel joy in their regular life while chasing
Mm-hmm.
their dreams, what it would be?
I feel like I don't want to preach because I also feel like
Yeah.
um, I feel like a lot of things, maybe it's just that, like, not that they've come naturally to me, but
Hmm.
maybe I don't really reflect back on them.
Hmm.
And so I don't feel like I have a list, you should do this, this, and this, and
Hmm.
it'll help you.
Hmm.
But things have helped that have helped
Yeah, yeah.
me, kind of thing, is like, yeah, slowing down. Like,
Slowing
slow
down.
down. Um, like, if I'm not the type of person to like really reflect
Hmm.
on my life, kind of thing, but like how you were saying, like
Hmm.
talking to your dad really
Hmm.
helps you.
Yeah.
I think it helps to have a perspective. I think we see ourselves a certain way, we kind of get lost in it, and we get
Yes.
lost in certain patterns. And so if you have somebody that can help you and pull you out of that and be like, oh, but you're doing so much, you have this, this, and this going on, you have so much to be proud of, you have
Yeah.
so much to be grateful for, that kind of thing is always great. I don't know, some people like journaling and they
Hmm.
like do a
Yeah.
little gratitude thing, like
Right.
think about like five
I
things that
do
you were,
journal, but I
yeah.
crib. I don't do gratitude. Like, today was shitty. This person
But
showed
that's
up.
venting. That's also good. It's good to vent
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to
that
let
yeah,
go.
journaling is
Yeah.
generally a
Yeah.
very healthy way of
Mm-hmm.
letting your inside
Yeah.
emotions out when
Yeah.
you're not a kind of person who likes to share what goes in their
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Like sharing a piece of me.
Mm-hmm.
I write my thoughts in the books I read,
Yeah.
and so I can never give my books to anyone.
Yeah.
I can
It's all
never
notes.
I can never share my books because I write my most deepest, darkest thoughts in there,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm feeling, or if something in that book resonates with me in
Yeah.
certain way.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, what I'm trying to say is writing your thoughts down
Yeah.
sometimes help you unwind
Yeah.
and reflect
Yeah.
back in
Definitely.
yourself. So yeah,
Yeah.
wow, so many things that we have learned today. How to be happy like a
I hope
sunflower.
it I hope it's helpful for
Nah,
people.
I'm sure.
Also, you keep saying sunflower and it always reminds me like sunflower sun, but I love the sun. Like I love
Yeah,
being outside
yeah,
and the sun always makes me happy.
yeah. Sun.
Sun,
The
get some
sun makes me
sunshine.
happy as well.
Also like vitamin D is just really great. Like you
Yeah,
need vitamin D and I think
go out.
everybody is deficient in vitamin D.
It's now time for some quick fun
Oh,
wrap.
fun. Also,
Um,
you were like, I'll tell Nicole all this stuff. I can listen to people talk about me all day. I love it when people talk about me.
are you gonna watch this podcast while you're working?
I told you, like, when we saw the clips in the group chat for the other thing,
Yeah,
I can't, like, I'll become self obsessed. I can't watch myself. I'll just
you
never
should.
stop. I'll never stop watching myself. I can't.
Okay, now a bit of a fun time with rapid fire. Just give me
Cool.
one word, one phrase that comes to your mind. Okay.
Ooh, fun.
A mantra or an affirmation you live by. First thing that comes to your
I'm
mind.
so bad at this. Okay, hold on. This is
Okay,
like an
think.
insecurity of mine. It's like coming up with these things that I don't really. Ooh, I don't know if this kind of fits, but I believe in manifesting
Hmm.
things. And so, like, if I want something to happen, I really believe that my words have power.
Hmm.
And also, I read this astrology birthday
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
thing, and that was one of the things for like my
Hmm.
day. And I was like, yes, this is true. And I believe in it. So, like, yeah, I think setting intentions is important and speaking those out loud, even if it's just to yourself. So,
You do that for yourself.
I do, but only in moments where like I really want something to happen.
Right.
Sorry, this is like not rapid fire. This is like long answer.
I kind of like had an idea that that's gonna happen, but it's okay. We're learning, guys. What's one thing you do to stay grounded?
Um, this is like walking around barefoot.
Oh wow, that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Wow. See, it's not that difficult to
I
cook.
know, but there's a whole story behind it. I could talk about it for an hour.
Next, yeah, we will set up another podcast
Yeah.
episode with Nicole, definitely, since she's loving it already. Okay. Something that instantly lifts your spirits.
The sun
Yeah, I
and
kind of
food.
agree. Food and sun.
Good food.
Yes, good food.
Yeah.
A memory that always brings a smile to your face.
It was my birthday and I was out of the country and I was only with this one friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting all these messages of people wishing me happy birthday. And I don't usually like birthdays aren't super important to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really like one who gets a lot of gifts
Right,
or like
right.
celebrates all the time. But for people to kind of like remember it was my birthday and kind of send me all those messages when I wasn't even there. Like I wasn't like I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it felt really nice to be
Oh.
remembered and for people to send me all those. Yeah.
Yes. If joy was a city for you, what it would
Oof.
be?
Oh man. Like what city it would be.
Yeah, if joy was a city.
I think that's kind of hard. It's complicated. It's complicated to answer because I feel like Toronto, even though the city has a lot of issues, I think anywhere you live, there's always like things that
Yeah.
don't work well, but it'll always be home and it kind of has that comfort.
Yeah.
So I have to say Toronto, but also I don't know. I've been to many beautiful cities that I
But
like.
still, home is gonna what?
Home. Look how nice the sky is. It's like that pink and then blue.
It's
And then
purple,
over there,
lilac.
the nice clouds. I just like, I would be up here all the time if I were
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I do that a lot to myself, but
Nice.
it's so hard to climb all the way 41st floor.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole, for doing this special podcast with us. It was such a lovely discussion. It was so fun. Like, it
Yeah.
was so fluid. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure our viewers will be having a lot of insights from the whole thing, and they must have enjoyed it. And to whoever who is watching, don't forget to subscribe, stay in touch, keep liking, and comment if you have questions for Nicole.
Ooh, yeah. I'd love that.
And yeah, and until next time, find your peace, find your joy, stay happy, stay wise.
Bye. Cute.
Wow.